talking about what I'm calling the morning after mindset. So I'm coining this phrase, the morning after mindset. And this is really came up with a client today where I coached her on how to overcome that mindset that creeps in after something that you do that's enjoyable, that's fun, that you let loose and you give yourself a permission to have a good time. And then the morning after creeps in and you go, what did I do? What happened? What can I ruminate on, regret, second guess, or doubt myself about? And this mindset doesn't only apply to morning afters. It applies to any conversation, interaction we have in our personal or professional lives. Any moment we have in our lives where we stop afterwards and say, what did I just do? Why did I say that? Why did I do that? I should have, could have, wish I. Those shoulda, woulda, couldas creep in. And we find ourselves feeling pretty crappy. We find ourselves second guessing who we are, what our self-worth is all about, and really our capabilities, our, integrity, right? Our ability to succeed. We question it all. And so today I'm talking to you about how to stop the morning after mindset. So again, oftentimes, and for my client in particular, this came up after a fun night out where she let herself go and have a good time. And the morning after said, uh-oh. And she wanted to retrace her steps, go back over every detail that happened, right? From who you're with, to what you said, to what they said, to what you did next. You go through every detail and find yourself really wishing, emotionally feeling strongly about wishing things had maybe gone differently, or that you didn't lose control or let yourself go or say the thing. This also applies to conversations or experiences we have in our daily life. So here's how we get past the morning after mindset. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Dr. Wendy O'Connor. I'm a positive psychologist and life strategist for women. I coach women all over the world on how to live your happiest life by design. And so much of what holds many of my clients back is self-doubt. And what causes self-doubt is your mindset, are the thoughts that your brain secretes or spits out that you hold on to, that you grab onto and you say to yourself, this must be true, my brain just said so. Not remembering that you've been conditioned to believe all the thoughts and beliefs you've had for such a long time through years of experience and conditioning, through years of your society, your community, peers, loved ones, parents, teachers, coworkers, telling you who you should or shouldn't be, who you are or are not, who you can and cannot be. We get very stuck in wanting to uphold this idea that we are good enough, aka perfect. And when we create that construct in our mindset that we need to be perfect to be good enough, guess what we're constantly doing? Well, one, failing because there's no perfection and you are unable to attain that goal. And two, second guessing ourselves constantly. We are filled with regret. We are filled with fear that we've done something, said something wrong. We are filled with sleepless nights of anxiety where we just circle the drain and ruminate on the thoughts that are keeping us awake and feeling terrible about our decisions. So here's what we do, guys. So if you are struggling with the morning after mindset, if you are struggling with letting go of a conversation you had, a meeting that you had, a fun night out you had, it doesn't matter what it is, here's what I want you to do next. I want you to imagine that there is a smoke alarm in your kitchen, which I hope there is, and this smoke alarm is going off, which is your brain saying, uh-oh, I said or did the wrong thing. I shouldn't have. I wish I didn't. I regret doing whatever it is. And you go down to the kitchen because you hear that smoke alarm going off and you check the oven. You open that oven and you look inside and you see there's no smoke here. In fact, the oven's not even on. And you go over to the stove and you check the stove and you say, there's no smoke here. The stove isn't even on. And maybe you check and make sure you didn't leave any candles on, and you look around and you smell the air and there's no smoke. There's nothing. The smoke detector malfunctioned. Okay? Now you go back upstairs and you say, okay, well, there's no smoke. I'm sure it was just malfunctioning. There's nothing to worry about, and you move on with your day until that smoke alarm, aka your brain, those distorted thoughts your brain spits out, haunt you again at a later point in the day. Now, this may be 10 minutes after the last smoke alarm. It may be several hours after the last smoke alarm. But for sure, you notice that that alarm is going off again. And what do? So, for those of you who get stuck in overanalyzing and ruminating on something you said or did or didn't say or didn't do, this is where you would run back downstairs to the kitchen and check all the parts of the kitchen all over again. You'd reopen the stove, reopen the oven, you'd recheck the stove, you'd recheck all the candles, you'd make sure everything looks smoke-free before you go back upstairs. Now, how many times a day are you going to allow yourself to do this? Ideally, once. And the reason that we want to check once is because the fear that there's fire after we just checked and we know there's no fire. You didn't say anything wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. You didn't miss the key opportunity in your life to just blow your boss away with that comment you were going to make, an idea you were going to have. Everything's actually fine. Our brains tend to, in moments like this, overreact. And when it overreacts, it spits out thoughts over and over again about how there's fire or at least smoke in the kitchen. So what I want you to do is to give yourself that permission to trust yourself. The reason that we keep running to see if there's actually smoke when the alarm goes off is because we do not trust ourselves. And the reason we don't trust ourselves is because we do not follow through on what our inner wise mind, our wisdom, our gut instinct about this is actually telling us. We override our instincts. We override what we rationally know to be true. What our wise mind would tell us, you did nothing wrong. Everything's fine. There's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to see here. We override that voice and we tell ourselves, because our brain gets nervous, that there must be something I did wrong. So we go over piece by piece and overanalyze a moment in time that does not warrant or need, and it's certainly not helpful to go over and analyze again and again. So the next time that you find yourself in a position, whether it's the morning after a fun night out, or it's a moment after a tough conversation that you wish you had said something different, ask yourself first and foremost, is there a fire? Is there actually smoke here? Or is my brain conditioned to worry about this because I've spent so many years of my life second guessing my thoughts, my beliefs, my fears, my values. I've second guessed it all. And I've gotten to the place where I don't even trust my gut instinct about things anymore. So instead, I keep running down to the kitchen and checking for smoke, even though I just did that. Even though I know with my own eyes and my own nose that there's nothing to see here. Next time you find yourself in a place where you feel compelled or pulled to overanalyze and ruminate, I want you to invite yourself back to this moment listening to my voice, and I want you to say to yourself, everything's fine. There's no fire. There's nothing to see here. And give yourself that permission to get back to your day, to get back to focusing on what matters, and to not let your energy be depleted by the ruminative thoughts that our brain can spit out. And it spits these thoughts out without your permission. So do not expect to listen to my voice and for your brain to stop doing what it's been conditioned to do for so long. What I want you to expect from yourself is an opportunity to respond differently next time. Have a great day, guys. I'll talk to you soon.